Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. My name is Corin, also known as the Kitten Choreographer, and I am a teen with a passion for animal rescue and, in particular, kitten rescue. So today's video is probably going to be a shorter one, but it should be nice and informative because I am talking about something you definitely need to know if you have foster kittens. So today I am just going to be showing you how to mix up formula for kittens and also how to clean your supplies after. I'm not going to be showing you exactly how to bottle feed in this video, but I am going to link down below some other videos that talks about feeding neonatal kittens. So I have some older bottle babies right now. They're about 4 weeks old and they are just chilling, eating with the bottle. We'll start weaning them in a few days, but as of right now, I am bottle feeding them. They are latching great, so I'm using the bottle. If a kitten's not latching very well, you should syringe feed them. But these guys latch great, so I'm going to be showing you just how to take care of kittens. Okay, so the first thing you're going to need for this is obviously a bottle. So I use these Pet AG ones. I get them on Amazon, I think. And they come with this little ring to put on, and they do come with a nipple that you have to cut yourself. But I do not like those nipples. They're just so hard to cut. There's so much room for error. So I instead get these mini miracle nipples. And they used to sell them on Amazon, but they don't anymore. But I will try and link them below at one of the retailers that they still sell them at. So you got this. I guess I can go ahead and show you how to pop the miracle nipple on. You just take this ring, it comes with the bottle, and you take the nipple and you kind of just like push it down. It's kind of hard with newer miracle nipples because they're kind of stiff, but once you've washed them a bit, it's pretty easy to pop in there, although sometimes I do struggle. So we've got our bottle. Now you're going to need your formula. I use the Fox Valley kitten formula. It's by far my favorite. I've also used KMR, Breeder's Edge, and the Petlac formula. Do not like the Petlac one. KMR's pretty good, and it's the most widely available, so I definitely say that one's a decent one if you can get that one. And Breeder's Edge, it's good. I personally find that my kittens have a hard time gaining weight well on it. I know a lot of people love it though, that is a good one. But my favorite is the Fox Valley kitten formula, which I switched to probably a couple months ago, and I love it. Yeah, the kittens love it, they gain weight well, it's easy to mix. That's my thing on that. So here's my Fox Valley, but again, just use whatever kitten formula you find works best, but I do always recommend kitten formula instead of anything else. So you're going to need something to mix your kitten formula in. My favorite things are blender bottles. So a lot of people use these for mixing up drinks like smoothies. Wow. Good job, me. Or, you know, exercise drinks, anything like that, but I use it to mix up kitten formula. Blender bottles basically have this little metal thing that you pop in, and then you put it on, twist the top on, and shake it up. I also have some of these mini blender bottles, and one by the brand Contigo. So I'm going to use this blender bottle today. In general, when I'm working with kitten formula, per 1 tablespoon of kitten formula, I use 2 tablespoons of water. So my kittens, I generally mix up like 4 tablespoons of powder, so 8 tablespoons of liquid. They don't always quite eat that much, but sometimes they do. It's weird, like they kind of decide how much they want to eat, but that's normally what I mix up. One thing that I like to know is I don't want to use like just a little tablespoon like this to like scoop out, because that gets annoying if you're making a lot of formula. So I looked up once and 16 tablespoons is a cup, so then I plan it accordingly. So I'm actually going to use this 1/4 cup to scoop the formula in. I scoop it in, shake off the extra, and pop it in the blender bottle. Pretty simple. And now, because we're using 8 tablespoons of water, I'm going to use a 1/2 cup. I've got my measuring cup here, and now I'm just gonna use tap water to fill up a cup. I just use cold tap water, and then we'll heat it up in a second. Got my 1/2 cup, and I'm going to plop it into the bottle. Mixing formula is really very simple, but sometimes it can be a little bit hard to figure out when you're new to everything. So now I'm just going to mix this with a blender bottle. Probably gonna mute it so you don't hear the loud sound. Okay, and now the amount I've made is gonna be enough for about 2 bottles. Sometimes it's a little more, a little less if you just get the liquid slightly wrong. I don't worry about it that much because it doesn't really matter. Now, some people need to like pour it into a funnel or something to get it in the bottle. I've had enough practice that I can just kind of pour it straight from the blender bottle into the bottle, but you can totally use something else if you need it. But I do it over the sink, just in case. Okay, so here we go, the 2 bottles of formula. So I personally microwave formula to get it to the right temperature. Kittens like warm formula, not too hot, not too cold, just nice warm, just right. I know a lot of people use bottle warmers. I do have a bottle warmer, but I use it for sanitation purposes. I just find it's too hard to get the right temperature with a bottle warmer. I know a lot of people don't like microwaves, but I personally find that they're okay to use as long as you make sure to shake up the formula really well before feeding it to the kittens so that there's no inconsistencies in the temperature. So for my personal microwave, I do about 12 or 13 seconds for the bottle, but actually I'm not going to be feeding the kittens right now because I decided to film on the schedule of me having a quiet house instead of me needing to feed kittens. So I'm actually not going to microwave them right now and just put them in the fridge to use later. Okay, so now pretend I've gone and fed my kitten, and now it is time to wash the bottles, instead of me just using the bottles they just drank from. Okay, so this is what my kittens drank from just a few minutes ago. There's a little bit of leftover formula. I do save formula sometimes, but only if it's close to a full bottle. The way I do things is I basically don't reheat formula more than once. So say I heat the formula up and they don't drink it all, well, I'll save it in the fridge and then I'll reheat it once, but after that, I don't like to reheat it because it could potentially go bad. So with cleaning bottles, it is not only important to clean them and, you know, get them ready for another use, it is also important to sanitize them. This is especially important if you're transitioning from one litter of kittens to another all the time. When I only have one litter of kittens, I don't generally sanitize in between feedings if it's only one litter. If I have multiple litters, I will sanitize in between. But for the sake of this video and showing you how I sanitize my bottles, I'm going to show you. So the first thing I'll clean is this blender bottle. It's a pretty simple process. I basically just fill it up with water, dump it out, and then fill it up with water again and put some dish soap in it, and then I shake it up and then dump and refill until it's clean. So let me see if I can angle my camera. So I've angled my camera in the position of the sink, and now I'm just going to kind of speed up, show you what I just talked about. One thing I forgot to note is I will often leave the blender bottles and the bottles like soaking for a little bit with water and dish soap in there, just to let them soak for a bit. But you don't have to do that if the bottles are fresh. If the bottles and blender bottle have just been used, I normally would just because, but for the purpose of this video, I'm not doing it. So now for the bottle, what I will do is I will dump out any remaining formula that I don't want to save because there wasn't much in here to save. And then I will just rinse out the bottle. And now just add just a little bit of dish soap. Shake it up real good. Oh, and you have to cover the nipple with your finger so that water doesn't fly everywhere. And now with the dish soap still kind of in there, I squeeze through the miracle nipple to get the soap through the miracle nipple too. Now I pop apart the miracle nipple and the little ring thing and just kind of rinse it a bit. I'll put these over here to sanitize in just a second. Now I'm dumping the bottle and it still has soapy residue on the inside, so I will just rinse it out several times until the water runs clear and I know there's no soap in it. So now I'm just going to do the other bottle I have right here the same way, and then I'll show you how I sanitize them. Wash the bottles and now I'm going to actually sanitize them. So I personally have a bottle warmer that I specifically got for sanitation. Hi Gabby. And when you turn it on, which, oh, I didn't realize it was plugged in, but you turn it on, you go all the way down to this setting for the one I have. I'll try and find the one I have and link it below along with all the other stuff, but we'll see if I can find it. But I probably, you know, this one has a sanitation setting, and so it gets actually hot enough to sanitize them. If you don't have one of these, you can just boil some water and throw it in, but I definitely suggest getting one of these. They're not that expensive and it makes sanitation way easier because you don't have to like fully boil water. So the way you use this one is you just fill it up until like there's a little thing that pokes out in here that kind of shows you where to stop. So I'm just gonna unplug this so I can reach the sink, and I'm just going to fill that up with just tap water. Okay, now I'm going to just plug this in, and I'm going to pop all of the bottles I just washed in there. I put them in upside down. And I can barely fit 2 bottles in. You could do more than 2, and I also just throw in the miracle nipples and the rings. And now, where is the little top thing that goes on it? Okay, change of plan. So I've lost the actual top thing that goes on this, so I can't actually sanitize them right now. But basically what you would do is just turn this all the way over. The orange light pops on, and it sanitizes, and then when the orange light goes off, it's sanitized. And then it's really, really hot. So I use tongs to just pull them out. Well, I use my fingers to pull out the actual bottles, but then you use tongs to pull out the little tiny pieces so you don't have to stick your hands in the really hot water. So then your bottles will be sanitized and they will be ready to use for the next litter or a different litter, anything like that, but it's very important to sanitize your bottles so that you don't pass any germs between litters, because dish soap doesn't kill like the really powerful viruses and stuff, but boiling them does. But if you have a very, very contagious virus like Panluke, I just like throw away all my supplies and get new ones. But if it's just something mild. So I really hope you found this video helpful. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, make sure to like it and subscribe for more kitten related content. I upload on Sundays and Wednesdays if I can, and if I can't, then I upload whatever I want to. Also, please make sure to leave any thoughts or questions that you have down in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching again, and goodbye!